All right, welcome everyone to another Tuesday review, and this time I have a game for you that's all about a storybook. It's an indie game, not a pixel art game. It has more 3D models, some cell shading it looks like, but the game is called... All right, the game is called Stories: The Path of Destinies. This game is all about a storybook. And we're storybook characters. We're kind of not any known storybook characters, but we're animals in a story, like animals that look like people. So anthropomorphic animals is the term. And this is a very unique game because it doesn't take very long to go through a playthrough of this game to get to an ending. The trick comes with how many possible endings and how to get the true ending. So let me go ahead and we'll do a new game real quick. This is like the whole premise. Basically, the Emperor turns evil. You have a rebellion against the Emperor, against the Empire. Again, kind of Star Wars-ish in a way, sort of, but not really. Now we're into the game. This is where we actually get into the action. We get a taste of the action. You have to take Peter Rabbit. Peter the Rabbit, which is kind of funny. There are like storybook references in this game, of course, you know, like that. Not a whole lot.
Ravens were staring at the kid like he was their dinner, which probably was what was in their tiny brains. Hey,
now we get into combat here.
They cocked their heads at him. Pick on someone as ugly as you. Wait, that didn't come out right. For the Emperor! The ravens cawed and rushed at him.
Okay. The combat's pretty simple. X to attack. Later on, it'll teach you how to counter, and basically all you do is right here. You push the movement stick towards the enemy about to attack and hit the attack button, and you automatically counter. That's very important to remember here. So it's like, boom, counter, boom. It does get very tricky when you have multiple enemies, because sometimes you'll counter one and there'll be like another one attacking you as you counter one. So the more enemies you get on screen, the harder it is to keep up and to do all the countering. But it is kind of a very simplistic, very effective way of doing combat, because instead of having to be like, okay, I have to push X to attack, but then I have to go push towards the enemy and a different button to counter. It's all the same button, so it very much simplifies the gameplay mechanic, but it also requires you to pay attention and to basically know like what direction an attack is coming from, and be sure to move your stick towards that direction real quick, hit the attack button, get the counter off, and that way you take as little damage as possible.
Right. The Gate of Heroes. Someone's idea of a joke, making the Skyship Docks a gated community. You needed a hero.
And this actually is a bit of explanation as to how these gates work and the crafting system. There is a crafting system in here. It's a very minimal crafting system.
I'm not taking that damn book anywhere, and neither are you. Try and stop me, laughed the kid. I bet you don't even have a hero sword. And with that, the kid hopped away. Had to hand it to the kid. He was an idiot, but he had guts.
He was an idiot, but he had guts. I love it.
Hero sword.
So Reynardo is going to go here and get some materials.
Wind. Perfect.
You select swords. Okay, sword crafting. So basically, it explains, okay, you need so many materials to craft a sword. Blah, 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 blah. Here's all the explanation here.
A hero sword.
Bam.
QED.
Alright, so you have other swords you can craft, and you can also upgrade these as well. You upgrade this one, and it will give you the ability to heal. Then you get these other swords that each have their own ability. This one will slow time. This one here will freeze enemies. This one here will set them on fire. So there you go. And you can upgrade each of these to level 2 at the max. But bam, we have a better sword now. And now enemies better watch out. There is a leveling system in this game, so you do earn experience, you do gain levels, you do get points to put into different areas.
The kid's mum had been a swell cook, and she'd laughed at Renado's jokes, even when he didn't know he'd made one. and the ravens had come to burn her. And she'd made him promise.
Go this way here.
The
And
kid.
there's only one way to go. Now,
never
you'll
told him in the
find
book
some
was
places have like
just a
multiple
kid.
paths depending on what swords you actually have unlocked. Because some gates require specific swords to unlock.
There'd been a bridge here before, hadn't there? And there was Peter, giggling at him. How'd you get across? He asked the kid. Where'd you find a hook?
Now, what's really cool about how this does this whole intro section is
Wise ass
it
kid.
basically has you do all these things to get through the intro section. So you have to craft a sword to get further.
Ravens.
And this next section, you have to level up to get further.
He hadn't used his hook since he'd retired. How had he done it?
A convenient altar
Maybe if he
to level up.
meditated at that altar there. He'd
There you
remember
go.
his old skills.
All to advance the story while explaining how to do things. The only thing we can do is it's unlocked right now is the hook
It
in
was
order to
starting
get to
come back.
places.
Something you
There we go.
completely forgot, like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember.
Oop. There's your leveling system. You unlock skills. One thing with that skill tree is there's different tiers as you go down, and it all depends on how many truths you have revealed. We'll talk about that in a little bit here. Once we get past this intro section, we're almost past this intro here.
Stop! And a goggler nailed him with its ivy.
Rip him. He's dead. Okay. This goggler, we have to watch out for them because their eye beams will wreck us. So we go behind here and bam. Cut it in half. One hit
The
kill.
book was unburned. Next to it were the buckles from the kid's shoes and a kid-sized pile of ashes. Damn it.
Wow,
Why
that's-
hadn't he lied and told
Like
the
what? Not
kid
even a
he'd take
body,
the
just
book
a
to
pile
the
of ashes. We're gonna take the book, get on the ship, and then the story continues.
deal about this book anyway. Exiled the lost
Here we go. It's
gods.
explaining this choice
Surely
right
a
here.
legendary weapon
And it's saying,
in the
hey,
final battle.
we've got this
On the
choice,
His old
or we
friend
have that
Peter
choice.
had sent Renato
And every time you
desperate
see an
message
exclamation mark,
saying
it's a
he
new
had
choice that
brilliant
wasn't there
scheme to
before.
save the rebellions, the abyss.
So here you go. This is where you
But the
choose
jet
what
stream,
path you
the
take
Raven ships
and what
peeled
you
off.
do.
Not stable enough to follow it
And I
down
will
there.
tell you right now,
Now it
when you
was time
first
to choose.
pick these paths,
Lapino,
when you first choose which way to go, you are going to die at the end. Many times. There's many endings. And then there's one true ending. The way this game works is you pick these paths to find these different endings. Now you can try to unlock every single ending. So, and after getting the first ending, you'll go back to this choice, and there'll be a third choice unlocked. And ultimately, you're trying to uncover 4 truths. Once you find all 4 truths, then it will unlock the path to the true ending, the good ending. But you have to unlock those truths first, discover those truths by getting all these bad endings, and that's how this game works. Now, the endings fall into one of these 4 truth categories. So there isn't like a huge amount of variation on the endings as far as what they entail. There's a slight variation to them. If you want to try to find all endings and play through and get all endings, you can do that too. It'll give you a lot of replayability on this game. If you want to just do it enough to get the true ending, the good ending, then you can do that as well. You will encounter new enemies, and one thing I will say is the new enemies will appear in earlier stages that they weren't before when you go back and play through again. You'll start finding new enemies in those new playthroughs, and it'll make things more challenging. It'll make things harder as you go along, but you do have upgrades you can do with your weapons, with your character, earning experience, gaining levels. Yes, and there also will be some gems you can socket onto Reynardo's gauntlet that you will find, and as you find them again, it will upgrade them, make them more powerful, more effective. It looks really polished, and that's what I like about a good indie game, when it has a really polished look to it. I came across one glitch my entire playthrough, and it was where I went to do like a dash to dodge, and my character froze and was kind of like gliding across the screen a little bit, and it was really weird. And was kind of stuck in this one line, but then it got unstuck and it was fine. But that was like the only time it happened. It was just like the one time the rest of the game, it played really well. I was surprised. But yeah, overall combat was pretty fluid, and it explains everything really well as part of the story itself, which is kind of cool. It's very enjoyable and will give you several hours of playthrough. And I would definitely say it's worth buying. Whether you pay full price for this or get it on sale, it's worth it. It very much is worth it because there's a lot of content here, a lot to explore, a lot to spend your time doing. It took me a while to kind of get through, to figure out like what paths would get me the different truths. And that's part of the fun. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, be sure to like the video if you liked it, if you want to. You don't have to. You can dislike it if you didn't like it too. Feel free to do that also. As well as be sure to subscribe if you would like, or if you don't want to, you don't have to, but I do appreciate every sub. If you want to, you can comment down below. I do reply to every comment, but you don't have to if you don't want to. That's cool too. But thank you so much for watching this video. Appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Until then, stay awesome, and we'll see you then.